and having their hopes just dashed away. Gen.G got close in the last qualifier. FaZe was nowhere to be seen as they failed to make it through the open qualifier, and they even struggled a little bit here, having 3-match series against teams that maybe people would expect them to beat somewhat easily. But they're performing when it's necessary, and this is that match. So we come into the third map, and right off the bat, we see a quick play into the A site as Shawn goes nuts and flies through the sky as Raze and picks off 2. It's site control for Gen.G.
Thing is, though, they have still a low player HP and Shawn, and still they're trying to calm things down a little bit after a hectic push inside the site. Yes, we had 2 players fly inside the site. That was Shawn and also huynh. huynh gets executed by Corey because his teammates couldn't cover on that first kill, doubling up on that elbow. So that's a lot of position and information given away. 3 players from FaZe pushing in towards that elbow too, leaving MkaeL on his own. Somehow this retake has been beautiful. He gets the headshot onto Corey, though. That clock is defusing down, gets the second kill, out of bullets, he's rotating back, he's reloading, and he couldn't get the kill. That's speaking about Marv, and Omen versus Omen, a shadow step, Rawkus gets the kill, sorry, I thought it was going to be Marv, but it's Rawkus, I forgot about that change, and he still gets the kill and the defuse as FaZe somehow scratches it out and wins the pistol.
The agent juggle up we were talking about coming into this one. ZachaREEE goes to Killjoy, Rawkus to Omen, BABYBAY to Raze, Corey to Reyna. That's not a surprise. Marved on Phoenix. If you actually look at like their last 3 split maps, this one and then the 2 others that were played during this qualifier, they've used a different agent composition every single time. That's kind of crazy to think that like they've played the map 3 times, at least from what I did just at a cursory glance, not going back too far. And like they had a different agent comp every single time. But we'll see if it works out for them as they continue to keep teams guessing as to what's coming. Now, we've seen Gen.G find success on these force buys. No surprise here that they're going to be flying in. There's one up in the corner, and Rawkus was not prepared. Did some good damage, but damage was not what they needed. They needed kills. ZachaREEE's trying to mop things up now from inside the site, but holy Moses! It comes down to a 1v2 in the snap of a finger. FaZe survives with 2 players up, but it's an absolute brawl on the site as both forces just collide. And results in that 2-on-1.
You definitely saw an opportunity used by FaZe. I forgot who that player was towards that red wall at the entrance of the B site. But that cyber cage that was thrown by player 1 for that cross, there was just a sliver that allows the defender to see them cross over for him to get the spray through that cyber cage and even take down the spike carrier. So it turned out really good for them to get the entry onto Rawkus on the top of the boxes. But after that, you can't really capitalize on more because they're still trying to set up into the site, trying to cross, but you don't expect the spray to happen through the cyber cage to just hold you in your execution. But they continue with an explosive play for Gen.G. They're rushing up here. That's what I was talking about, that explosive push towards that mid side. Another force buy coming in for Gen.G, but it's still being halted by FaZe. Marv getting a kill, but it gets traded back. 2 players up on B Heaven, and it just goes back and forth, and the backstab for Corey with a double kill again. And that's 3 unanswered rounds, and what? That's 3 rounds played in like 2 minutes. That was so fast.
Yeah, this has been a blistering pace. It seems like these 2 teams want to get this best of 3 over with and decide who's going to be moving on so they can breathe a collective sigh of relief. But right now, it's Gen.G who's in the hot seat after FaZe Clan comes out swinging in the first 3 rounds. The full buy will come out from Gen.G. On the opposite side, there's still some SMGs and the lingering Bulldog. As we refer to it, it's like a diet rifle. Begins. Well, they pop Empress to kick things off on the defense. So Corey has the increased fire rate, but that ult doesn't last nearly as long as it once did. So that's likely to run its course before any action takes place. They also have Run It Back available for Marved, which again is one of the more interesting agent juggle ups. Marved going from hardcore Omen player to Phoenix on this map. BABYBAY is the sole defender as they stacked everything towards B. Look at this B stack. They really anticipate this being a B play. If they get in there quick, this is going to be a problem. Now, there is a rotate coming through. They're starting to shift positions as they're realizing, hey, it's not coming, but they're not going to get there in time. So BABYBAY has to step up big from inside the site, and there's just nothing he can do.
That's
Flash,
crazy.
slowed, stunned, dazed, whatever you want to call it. Not much can be done.
Everything was thrown out, man. Nothing he could do there, unfortunately. And as they try to go for the retake with the Run It Back from Marv, it immediately gets canceled. So this allows now Gen.G to have a great position. But the thing is, I'm talking about great position. They don't really have it. They're all stuck on the elbow. So it really has to come up to MkaeL to really try to split that defense around as he's fighting towards that back. And as he shadow steps across, he gets picked off by ZachaREEE. They're in a tough spot right now. This could still be retakeable for FaZe Clan as it did so on that pistol. And huynh is able to trade it out first. But back on the backstab, Marv gets one. It's a 2 versus 2. They think there's one behind the map, but they're playing that clock. Pre-fire shot from Shawn, hot hands allows them to push forward. huynh gets the second kill, and one more to go as they know that he's close. The dash through, that clock is ticking down. huynh is just playing that clock. They're gonna get it. Well done here on that 1 versus 1. An expensive round, especially on top that ZachaREEE gets the last kill. I don't think it's gonna be a very nice buy for Gen.G in this next round. I could be wrong, but I think it's gonna be a broken buy.
That was some clown fiesta nonsense. Some of that round in the post plant, like you have a player who dies in hell from the hot hands. You have MkaeL, I think it was, who ended up dying, or I don't remember who it was. Yeah, it was MkaeL.
The shadow step across.
The shadow step death as the Omen. Like just some ridiculous stuff taking place after the spike's been planted. Now, yeah, Gen.G's money is not fantastic, but look what they've got. They've got Bladestorm, they've got Showstopper into the shadows, and Rolling Thunder. So they have like full utility. The only thing they have to worry about is that Killjoy ult. They're just going to fly into B, or A, excuse me. So they fly into A. And the knives are intended to open things up, but they did lose
made it
their
through. Oh, sorry, BABYBAY. Yeah.
Oh, nice click from huynh. A good toss out of the knife straight to the dome of Corey, but Marved, even more impressive, tries to drop down, misses an opportunity on a cross shot. It's a 3-on-3.
You should
We've still got to deal with these knives, and they just lost their ult. If they had that Omen ult, there was a possibility of porting out, of course. Now there's a turret going down as well. This is good Killjoy utilization. Everything falls down on this last player in sight, and he's going to get caught. He's nothing he can do. Iman is trying. Does he get around the corner? Oh, no. I thought for a second he would get around the corner, and they wouldn't be able to find him. Oh.
Wolverine claws in the chest. But definitely, I mean, the amount of times that it's been so explosive for Gen.G, that mistake that they had as they had to Jett dash through, that's the thing, though. They're trying to pull out the defense along the back to focus on the players that are going to rush into the site from a dash or from the satchel charges from Shawn. They also had a Rolling Thunder to try to clear out the A side, but the thing is, nobody looked back towards that flower pot. So as I thought it was Corey, it's BABYBAY playing as that Raze. She was able to get down towards that flower pot on the left side angle where nobody saw her, but at least she got killed. The second thing, though, is Marv ran out through the smoke at Heaven. So as much as they tried to take control towards the back and push back towards screens, nobody was looking back towards the Heaven, which was the demise of Gen.G. Due to the fact from that, you allowed FaZe Clan to rotate over at screens. They have a lockdown to work with, and with a crossfire setup from spawn side, at defender spawn or attacker spawn, sorry, and from screens, there's nothing those last two players could have done for Gen.G. So as explosive and beautiful that Gen.G has these entries, FaZe Clan is doing a great job playing these retakes.
Cover going down.
Remaining.
Oh boy.
My eyes on the page 3.
Okay, that could work too. Continue with the right clicks. Player 1 making it expensive. I mean, he's not going to win the round, but those are definitely frustrating deaths you want to face off against, especially when you had a 4K spray going in there from that Heaven side. But it's still going to be the round coming in for FaZe. Gen.G, let's see what they do now that they have the money.
Well, Gen.G needs to find something soon because you know the nature of Split. Incredibly D-sided. The hope is that you can put up a couple of rounds.
Yeah.
You just got to find something. But the full buy will come through from both teams. No op in play from either side. Still a couple of ults available for both. Showstoppers on each side, into the shadows on each side. Run it back and Neural Theft. The main difference is between the two teams' ult capabilities currently. huynh with that tic-tac-toe crosshair moving up mid. Wants to place an X on the center square, you know? There's the rocket coming out from BABYBAY as he somehow sneaks through the dark cover that was in position. And that works out well. Shouldn't be able to just come in and get a freebie like that, but he does. At the same point in time, though, huynh is there with the trade.
Exactly.
equalize things and bring it back to a 4-on-4.
He slipped through the ropes, but they didn't notice that huynh actually slipped down towards the MkaeL as well. So he was able to even that out on a 4 versus 4. So this still makes it a very difficult hold for FaZe Clan. They have to split everything out, but you see how pushed up BABYBAY is towards long A, so they can really focus towards B. The attack is soon coming, and they have player playing towards Hell, and that's Marved and ZachaREEE. Beautiful crossfire from Hell and also entrance. And now can they actually get it done? Shawn's going to be the last one standing. He gets executed from the rotate from the A side, courtesy of Rawkus. And that's 6-1, Buckin. And now you're starting to see the type of different playstyle where the agent composition that we were talking about before, you don't allow much explosiveness from a composition like FaZe because you don't have like the initiator from the breach. But definitely, it seems that what they have on the defense is definitely good enough to prevent and play against the aggressive playstyle of Gen.G, whether it's on mid side or A. And I don't know what it is exactly because I haven't seen anything flashy on retakes. It's more like, hey, I'm pushing through smokes and going for a retake and winning those fights more than anything else. There's not much abilities for retakes.
FaZe with a significant advantage over Gen.G currently. Still some time left, but this round, I wouldn't anticipate much coming in from Gen.G. If you can't tell by the buy, it's going to be scraped together as best as they can get. It's mostly pistols here in the mix. huynh got a classic, and he's taking significant damage, down to 20 HP, just trying to cross. Now the smoke will go out as he hooks one around the corner. Different kind of curveball. But the shots pouring through connect on to Guimon as he tries to make it across and join the rest of his comrades. The spike's been picked up by their Cypher. Everyone currently just sitting on A ramp, and you can see the amount of firepower waiting on the other side. A couple of players in position. They're just waiting. 35 seconds left, and Gen.G has to make a move.
Just trying to capitalize on mistakes, thinking that FaZe would maybe want to go on a hunt because they know that Gen.G's on an eco. They're winning 6-1, and they just want to end this quickly. You talked about how aggressive they were on Gen.G's side because they want to end the map and move to the first strike finals. And you might think that FaZe Clan is trying to do the same, but they're showing a lot of patience, which is very good. But there you go. They only get 1 kill out of that, and it's going to be the classic that comes in from Rawkus to get 3 kills. So that's 7-1. The money's back. I don't know if they're going to go explosive again. Nope, doesn't seem like it. You have huynh now going with the operator. That could definitely change the play style from Gen.G. As they're trying to push through aggressively every single time, that doesn't pay off. I think you might look at huynh trying to pick out towards the A side, maybe open up towards the B main too. Because another advantage from using a Killjoy instead of a Cypher is that you don't have a camera that's going to be put up towards the tower side of B. So they could still kind of lurk right to the entrance of the B site before they explode into the site. So with this tactical pause that's coming in for Gen.G, they're trying to work that out. What weaknesses have they seen so far from FaZe Clan? And I haven't seen any weaknesses on their retakes for FaZe Clan, but I haven't seen many open spots yet. And they haven't really tried out towards B, except on that second round where they were able to get the first entry into Rawkus, and that's pretty much it.
You mentioned it. The money is back, but the opportunities are starting to disappear. And look at the call that's been made. huynh had the op initially, decides to sell it. This is a tactical pause currently for Gen.G as they're trying to figure out what they can do to try and salvage this half. Because, yeah, sure, defense-sided. Of course it is. The map is very defense-sided. But they need to get a few more rounds on the board, like now. Because it's going to get out of control if they're not careful. It's not necessarily to that point yet. A round win here is almost a must.
Yep.
Because you can't give them 8 rounds with only 1 on the board. Your money is bad again coming into the next round. You're not going to have a bye. You're looking at 9-1 potential. Like this is a must-win round for Gen.G.
So you have the neural theft. You have a showstopper. They can maybe leverage that to get an entry. But so far, they've had 1 player from BABYBAY playing towards the back of the map. This time it's an open site for FaZe. I wonder if they're going to try to enter into that and maybe waste a showstopper to start things off. Corey's actually playing behind a flower pot. So that is an unusual spot that hasn't been played yet by FaZe. And it's not going to be, there's a possibility it's not going to be checked. So there you go. They're jumping in. They're looking back towards the backside. There you go. It's going to be wasted there. This is huge for Corey right now.
Oof. Gen.G finding the openings they needed. And that allows them to get a spike plant. over here on the A site.
Planted.
3 remain. ZachaREEE drops the turret down. They do have Marved with Run It Back available. They've also got the Omen ult if they want to use that one. Try and get some intel on the site. Marv just wants to go for that dry peek and find his way out. And that's a self-heal as well, but ZachaREEE goes down in the meantime. And that means the pinch is potentially in here, with Marv having players coming up from the ramp. Yeah, and that's exactly what ends up happening. Gimon, big play from him to make this round that much easier. huynh gets the last kill of the round. Gen.G, they finally do it. They get another round on the board, and it's one we said they had to win. So that is huge for them.
And thankfully, they look back towards that flower pot to re-clear the site as soon as they made it in, because really both players were really focused on opening up the backside where they think that BABYBAY was going to play. But Corey had a great position, good patience, letting his team know that the execution is happening towards A, trying to stay alive for as long as he can, and maybe surprise 1 or 2 before he himself falls. But with the Empress being popped, there was a great opportunity to get a kill and run away from it too, and go for a 5-man retake on top of that. But thankfully for huynh, wins that fight, allows Gen.G to get the round onto the board, the second one, much needed. And it's still not over yet. Yes, we saw a 7-1 scoreline, but if they're going to be able to end this with a couple of more wins, then they're still going to be sitting good on the second half. The thing is, though, FaZe Clan won a lot of rounds already, so they have plenty of money to work with in this round here.
Off your feet!
Well, Rolling Thunder is coming through. Marved is stuck in a terrible position on site, but huynh doesn't move in fast enough, so he'll survive a while. BABYBAY is in the meantime picked off too. Now Marved goes for the ult, and all of a sudden, Gen.G's running away. What they don't realize is Corey's on the back end of the play. Now, Corey survives with the dink shot, but at least he can make the call out that Gen.G was backing off of this, and things get real confusing here for Gen.G. They have to make a determination whether or not they want to go back to this A site or continue and re-execute towards B.
Oh, that hat's good.
That's massive. The neural theft will give away positions, and they'll start to work their way out. Now, that ult,
30
that's the
seconds
spike
left.
carrier. Oh, no. MkaeL goes in a little too aggressively alone. They drop the spike. That means that Gimon has to now step up big here, and this all falls apart. It should have been so much better for them, but it's not. Gimon's stuck in a corner, and the round is going the way of FaZe. So many things went wrong there for Gen.G.
Yeah. I do get it, though. You're trying to go with the from the shadows from MkaeL inside that A site, but I'm sure he wasn't looking for a plan. Because they had the hat that was thrown out, they're like, okay, they're rotating slowly towards the A side, or as fast as they could, of course. And then they're like, he says, okay, I'm going to ult into the site just to hold an angle on elbow. That's why you see that he actually ported towards the back of the map so that he doesn't get shot off from the heavens, from a heaven window, and he can just hold the angle tight on elbow. If he gets that kill, the last 2 players that are still rotating from the spawn side, which was player 1 and also GMD, could try to open things up and help out the team. But from the shadows coming out just takes too much time. And he got caught off guard, unfortunately. And now on this round that you have for Gen.G, they weren't able to get an opening with the Blade Storm, but he still managed to get 2 kills out of this. With aggressive pushes coming in from the defender side, it's being punished, and they're looking to push back inside B.
Here's the push moving into the site. Gen.G with a nice reaction to get over to this B site. ZachaREEE just sliding that crosshair left to right. Somehow still comes up with 1 kill. And that makes it manageable for Rawkus. But it is a 1v2. Low HP for player 1 as the spike goes down. I like the reposition from Rawkus. Doubling up in the back of sight is Gen.G. They're currently just holding and watching. Rawkus is going to have to make some noise to come down off this balcony. And we're not. I like that. Shadow step. They're still holding this same spot, though, and if he peeks it, there's 2 players trained on that position. He actually ends up putting a shot perfectly between the 2 of them. Gen.G, well played in the end to get on that B site. They're finding something here at the tail end of this first half.
It's like when you're playing real darts, you don't want to aim for the bullseye in the middle. You have to hit the extremities to get the most points possible. And at that point, the bullseye was there in between the 2 players, but around again, salvaged here by Gen.G. When they lost a player early from with huynh trying to dash up towards that A ramp, where we saw actually on the previous map, on Ascent, he was really, really good with the Blade Storm. Kind of like what we saw Skadoodle early on today for T1 on that very map. it seems though it's a little bit off on his playstyle going into split. Maybe the pressure is in right now because they're trailing by a lot, but they still have that silver lining. They're at 3 rounds right now. They have a potential, of a 4th. And switching back from a more standard play for Gen.G, less fast, less aggressive, going for the picks, seems to be paying off because FaZe Clan is the one that's playing aggressive, and they're getting punished for it. So Gen.G trying that same thing this time, but both of the teams this round, though, are playing very passive.
Gen.G just wants one more at the tail end of this first half. Just one. Try and cap things off. Make it 8-4 compared to what it was or what it could have been. That's not too shabby. They'll still rely heavily on that pistol round, though, in the second half. But let's focus on the round current and not the round's future. huynh, an AWP in hand, holding currently towards elbow. That's where Rawkus is currently positioned, getting ready to toss that paranoia and dark cover out. There's the paranoia. Dark cover came first. Showstopper's been popped by BABYBAY. Wants to send a rocket down into that, and it's exactly where it needs to be.
Hard to reload.
They haven't been able to get onto the site necessarily yet, but Iman's been able to sneak out into a position they didn't expect. Flash comes through, looking for that other player on site, and they find it, but they need to get that spike down, and they do. It's down to a 2-on-2, and they have Rolling Thunder. That could be massively influential depending on how they decide to use it. But ZachaREEE also has his ult. Lockdown could be a problem. So there's that Rolling Thunder towards spawn. ZachaREEee gets bopped out of position, but in the meantime, Corey's wrapped around ramp and catches huynh looking the wrong way. Iman has too many angles to try to clear, and there's the ult coming through, and as the smoke goes down, you know, Iman was in a risky position. Not really much could be done there. So it will be FaZe closing out the half 9-3.
Especially with 10 HP, you're throwing the Rolling Thunder. I think it was great. The Rolling Thunder actually even pushed the turret away from its position, because from that being placed down, he knew that ZachaREEE was in that area. But they didn't know where that last player was on that flank at a ramp. So I'm a little bit put off by the positioning from huynh. I know he's looking for a better high ground by trying to walk backwards into A main so they could have the off shot long range into the screens, but not checking back in case he was going to get flanked was a slight mistake, where maybe just playing that crossfire without exposing yourself at the screens could have been beneficial for Gen.G in the end. But FaZe, they capitalize on that mistake. They make it 9-3. And now that they have the defender side for Gen.G, maybe doable. Maybe doable. I gotta say, back to this is a big fault line, but they don't peek out of that. So that's just a ring to scare them off. But it's still gonna be FaZe Clan that's gonna try to push inside this B site.
I like this. This is a front pillar play with that blaze wall. So they don't go back pillar, they go front pillar. And it kind of catches them off guard. Not many teams anticipate that style of play, trying to make their way out into the site, but huynh solidifies the position and then just somehow can't find the kill. It still comes together for Gen.G, but that was a lot of right clicks from the Classic, and I'm sure he was anticipating a little RNG with a headshot or two. But still, FaZe Clan lose the pistol, and Gen.G can try and kickstart their second half here. 5 rounds separate the two teams, but with a map like Split, that's not that many.
I haven't seen a strat very similar to that, or a strat very similar to that since like beta. When I was watching Absolute Jupiter, when they went for that type of push, but they had a Sage in the rotation, so they actually Sage wall towards that instead, so they could work towards a red wall. Thing is, I don't know if I saw an Omen smoke from Rawkus up towards B heaven. That could have definitely helped FaZe Clan to move inside the red wall and then circle back into the site to maybe fight it with the curveballs from the Phoenix. That maybe could have been an opportunity that could be brushed up there, where they could really surprise Gen.G on the defense. But a great hold by Gen.G, looking to continue this hold as Paint Shells is moving up. One is tagged, but they fall back here for FaZe. Stuck inside vents, trying to look back for some control on mid. But Gen.G are looking to claw back in this game.
FaZe looking for an opening. And player one's camera's gonna spot everything they need. Oh, that actually ends up being brutal. The paranoia blinds him and he can't take out the tripwire. So he gets stuck in it for a little while longer. Another second and he would have been dazed. Now that's a nice shot coming in from Rawkus to at least try to get out onto this A site, but Shawn is there ready to greet him. 9-5, Gen.G. They are coming back into the game, but the full buy is coming in from FaZe. They need to keep their foot down on the gas pedal for a little while. They cannot allow FaZe to win even one round until I'd say they get within one of FaZe. At that point, then that's the goal in my mind if you're Gen.G.
Yeah.
Get the lead within one.
Even better right now, the goal is to try to win this with only Spectres. They have a chance to potentially win this with the Spectres. If they lose, they could still buy on to the next. But of course, the biggest bonus that you want is being able to take that round down. And how are they going to play it? It's going to be aggressive. And he eats a nade. It's going to be a boom bot right in the face as he dashes into it. Read like a book. FaZe Clan turns the page to take control of mid right after. And that is a big loss to suffer at the beginning of the round for Gen.G.
Shadows traveling.
MkaeL. Currently in heaven. Dark cover on the other side. Who's going to win the duel? Should it fade? Neither one, as he decides to back off. Marved not wanting to stay too long. I thought he was going to sit inside that and wait for it to break. Wait for that bubble to pop. Instead, oh my gosh, the timing here.
So good.
This is brutal. Marved has a fantastic backstab. Now, Shawn will be the one that ends up greeting him, but no! Oh, the timing! That is so brutal. Shawn slow on the approach. That's just rough for Marved.
That's just so good. Timing after timing where you would expect maybe at some point there's still a lurk. I love it from Shawn to still check his corners. Clear it out just to make sure. And now they know the action's happening towards B. Big flash, but Corey still wins the fight.
One player remaining.
FaZe with a big round win here, putting up number 10 on the board. There was opportunity there in the mid round, but FaZe find it. Gen.G, they're going to go heavy in the next round investment. An operator for win, but light armor. Light armor for Guimon as well. Full buy for the rest, but look at the money on the other side. You know, it's not exactly great either. There's a lot of pressure on both teams to pick up a big win here. You can see Rawkus and BABYBAY sub 1,000. Marved and Corey sitting on the fringe of buy territory should they lose this round.
Careful now.
Gen.G need to pick up a dub here. Try and break that money for FaZe and continue clawing away at that lead that was built up. Now the boom bot did not take the path intended. As you can tell, it's bouncing around back and forth. So that's a big oops from BABYBAY. But he'll back off a B main and group up with his teammates in mid and then shift focus actually back towards B main, watching for the push that could be coming through.
Well, huynh is still in an aggressive angle. Looking back towards the backside, still has an opportunity to dash into default. No matter what outcome comes from this shot. And you are looking for some sort of a body peek. You don't really see the curveball being popped up here by Marv to try to peek, so this could be big. So there you go, that kill. Now dashing in, he whiffs the second one, unfortunate, but still manages to escape. Pulls out the knives, a second kill, that's good enough. A 4-on-3, moving in as Corey opens up for 2. Thanks to the Empress, goes for the spike plant. B side is now open. Retake attempt, successful so far, up towards the MkaeL. But GMD survives with 5 HP. On a 3 versus 3 with a turret can do a lot of damage. GMD makes it a 2 versus 1. The spike has been planted as ZachaREEE pushing towards spawn. And there you go, that's huge, but there, thankfully, I was gonna say the turret could kill him. It came down to that ZachaREEE versus Shawn around the corner. But Shawn stays alive. They're looking for the op. There you go.
There it is.
Ooh, that's close.
Shame. I love explosions.
Gen.G, they keep themselves alive. And they get that defuse there at the end. Clawing away at that lead again, just round by round, chipping it away. People look at that first half scoreline, and if you're not someone who watches a lot of Valorant, you probably think, oh man, this is a blowout. FaZe is going to win this game easy. It's the nature of the map. It is one-sided, heavily favored towards the defense. And we should see Gen.G put up a string of rounds now that they've switched over. It's not to say that FaZe still doesn't have the lead and everything they need to potentially take the series 2-1 in the third and final map. But it's going to be a little bit harder for them now that they swap sides. Gen.G was looking real rough, though, on that attacking side for a bit. So it's a good thing that they got what they did towards the tail end of it. That said, got KJ's turret over towards long, eh?
Satchel out. Satchel out.
Hear that annoying ticking sound. I actually like that move from BABYBAY. I'm not sure if you caught that. So that was a blast pack across to throw the blast pack down in case there was hardware waiting for them on the other side from Cypher. So I actually really like that. It's a good way to get that blast pack out without getting spotted while also jump spotting in case someone's holding back sight. BABYBAY loves to do that. Unfortunately, that means both his blast packs are currently exhausted for the round. And MkaeL, first kill will go his direction. Has to be careful. There's targets around the corner, but it's only a pistol. Rolling Thunder does come through, and it's not really going to have too much impact. Rawkus and his teammate looking to scoop up some of the guns that were dropped. BABYBAY getting past the dark cover. MkaeL is pretty low on HP, so it's no surprise to see it go that direction. BABYBAY just wants to get away. Had BABYBAY not used those blast packs, maybe that'd be an additional method of escape. But able to get across as the shot is missed by huynh. Now the B site, because of all that action that took place on A, is empty. And I'm not sure they realize that BABYBAY has actually scooped up the spike. And realistically speaking, I don't think they care. I think they're willing to allow it. You can even see a ping coming out over on the B site.
10 seconds
I think they're willing to allow this plant and then play for the post plant.
Even they have a camera. So
it's close.
The plant's going to come through. You're going to tag it.
Does he have it? It's real close. I don't think he does. He didn't get it. He ran too slow on the site. So he ran too wide through B main and didn't curl that pillar enough. Like literally like 0.05. That's all he needed. And he ran too far to the left of the pillar to hook back around. And because of that, he doesn't get there in time.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
And lesser credits won, but still a full buy available for FaZe Clan. As we're inching so much closer for this tie for Gen.G. No matter who you are, what kind of fan you are for FaZe Clan or Gen.G, you gotta appreciate how this... Oh, that's amazing. I love that. I think it's also to spot, to see if anybody's playing around the corner. They know now that somebody's playing on the top at the boxes. And even at the same time, if there was a trap wire set at the bottom of B main, it's able to break. So I like that little nifty move there by BABYBAY. But out of that, FaZe Clan are just going to decide to reset instead. You could see right now that it's crucial for both of these teams. You could cut the tension with a knife. They're still trying to figure out what type of execution should we do. And it's now going to be just one big explosive one inside B, where Rawkus from the shadows comes out and gets the kill onto MkaeL. We're trying to push through, but the cyber cages are up. There's smokes all across the board, but BABYBAY, then player one gets a triple kill. ZachaREEE now staying alive on a 2 versus 1. 30 seconds left on the clock.
30 seconds left.
A peek coming through, the timing once again, and it's going to be Gen.G. Shawn, a second time on a timing that comes into his favor, allows Gen.G to cut the lead of FaZe by 2 only.
Man, some of these rounds, like just the timing is so brutal. Looking at that 1v1 on the site. Ugh. Now, to be fair, it wasn't just a 1v1, but I'm talking about the players on site alone.
Yes.
Just crazy. You know, another second looking in the right direction would have likely produced success for BABYBAY there. 10-8, FaZe Clan's lead, like you mentioned, reduced to 2. And the buy reduced to pistols. So they're going to try and work with what they got. I believe BABYBAY spent, yeah, he did. He had 3,500 coming into that round, in the last round, so he had the rifle from the previous one. He had a lot of extra cash. So he'll be able to buy in the next round as well.
Not too useful there.
That one was questionable. Okay, I've been applauding his use of the blast packs, but that one's a little bit odd.
Cage triggered.
Player one, though, up from on balcony. Up in the rafters on the B site. Drops down after sending some shots through his own cyber cage. Now, ZachaREEE's got the ult available. So they're going to go ahead and toss lockdown in.
And Marved.
What I wonder is, will Gen.G use the ult from MkaeL to port and kill it? That would be like big brain, like next level big brain play. But it looks like he's going to back away instead and just allow it to take place.
Yeah, and like I said, while all this is happening, eventually you're going to see the rotation coming in from B side. So Marv, he's going to try to get that revenge as he didn't get before. At the staircase, there you go. He dies for player one. The hat comes out. The jig is up too. Spike has been planted. You see how they're all stacked inside the site. Thankfully, they have Omen still alive, so they smoke up towards the heavens, so they could still work something with these pistols now in a crossfire inside A.
Here.
Here comes the push into the site. Shawn from distance executes ZachaREEE. BABYBAY with a nice peek from elbow, but one of two players remaining, and his teammates right by his side, but it's a wonderful retake from Gen.G. Not entirely surprised. Again, FaZe got into the site because of that Killjoy ult. It wasn't because of aim duels won or rifles that they used to get good position. They had pistols. That was basically all they used, was that and a few smokes. So what you expected out of FaZe was a spike plant. If you got much more, that's a bonus. And they don't. Now, BABYBAY has yet to purchase, but it should be a rifle armor coming in from BABYBAY as the Raze. We are just one round away from seeing a tie scoreline here, but it's a full buy coming in from FaZe. So they have everything they need on the attack, but look at the money starting to build up on some of the players on Gen.G.
Continuous pressure from BABYBAY towards his B main, but it's being countered back by Gen.G towards mid. And from that shot, they know at least one is playing towards Ramen and one playing towards that B main, so they expect some sort of mid pressure. And that's what MkaeL, but that Killjoy turret gives his position away, forced to fall back down to 70 HP. And as they fall back themselves for FaZe Clan, they're looking to explode inside this B site thanks to the run it back.
Here comes the push into the site. Marved uses run it back to get in close. It does do a little bit of damage there with the hot hands, flushing player one out of that position. Now they still got site control, but they haven't done anything with it yet. It's just now getting across, using the blaze wall as a bit of cover.
Spike planted.
The spike will go down. And it's now a 5-on-5 post plan. Now, they're coming back to clear mid. If they check that corner, they don't. So Corey gets around there and manages to get further away. Flashes going in both directions. Neither one actually connects. But it is going to be Gen.G who finds the equalizer. It's a 4-on-4 now as they try to get back onto the site. Huynh wants to lead in. Moving in close with that ult. That paranoia is thick as it leads in towards spawn. They're trying to get out onto the site, but it's not working out so well for them. Huynh with a quick shot out on the off, but realizes it's time to get away. FaZe with a nice push towards the B site off the back of Marv's ult. And it's the first round win we've seen in a while for them on the attack. Number 11 on the board.
You got to give it for FaZe Clan 2 on a pulse plant. Off the back of Corey as that Reyna getting that first kill and being able to dismiss and forcing the defenders back down towards Ramen. Yes, he died, but he wasted precious time and forcing Gen.G to rush back up towards the heavens where they have to act quick. The second one, paranoia. Push players all the way back where everybody could then focus on the heaven side, where you kind of split that simultaneous push that Gen.G was trying to do to try to retake that site. So very well done for FaZe Clan. They really split out that retake and took the numbers to their advantage after that. But like you said, Buck, they've won multiple rounds. The money is built up for Gen.G. They're going to buy this round here, and they don't have that run it back to take control of the site or try to get into B anymore. You hate to see that. The spike, or should I say an orb, attempted to be picked up or even fake tapped. But Huynh retaliates right away and makes it a 5-on-4.
Right now they've got control of mid, and they're trying to push into heaven. We've got player one currently positioned on the stairs. Corey is in ropes though, sending Leers down to the bottom of ropes. Marv just holding this line, and that is masterfully played. And then the tripwire exposes itself. Huynh flashed out in sight, can't take that shot. It's getting a little sketchy here, but they do have support. They popped that ult and they sent Omen over to try and support. But knowing that, they're starting to shift some resources over towards A. They've got Killjoy currently lurking on the A site. Now, if they can find a kill out of Killjoy, they might turn things around. It's a nice shot coming out from Huynh, and that shot is exactly what needed to potentially send this spike away, back down through ropes. Look at the timing here. Corey actually gets the backstab onto MkaeL. It's all down to that duel, though. That one-on-one.
Exactly.
Shawn winning against ZachaREEE puts this Omen in an awkward position with just 19 seconds left. They have to make a move to try to get onto the site. Does he enact that move quick enough?
They're using numbers just to try to get into A. They know that Shawn's there, and that's a perfect way to get into the site. The shadow step into the front. Spike is down 2-on-2. And he's going to even teleport away into safety so they could play for Heaven. But huynh already at the Heaven side with Shawn. 2 satchel charges available. But they had the verticality. The thing is, they don't have the angles from where FaZe Clan is playing. So even FaZe is actually pushing out. Look at Corey playing just under the window. He's going to spot ahead very soon. Punishes huynh for that. And is 1 frag away from making this a tied game. But Shawn on a 2 versus 1. He does get the satchel charge. The paint shell's out. The tap forcing his opponent out. But that pushes him out as well. That's it. It is going to be map and series point for FaZe. Just from the sheer patience of Corey into that round.
Point.
He doesn't care to die from this spike. This is a chance to qualify for FaZe Clan into first strike, and they only need this last round.
This would be a disappointment, to say the least, for Gen.G fans. There's still a chance, though. They've got the full buy coming through. It was a good mid-round adjustment from FaZe. It really was. Finally, that slow and steady play down the stairs actually works out. This time, though, it's when the bulk of the players were in that area of the map. And we do have a pause coming in. So a pause right at the tail end of freeze time. So we have 2 seconds left on the clock. You can see the players even talking about it in chat. Taking a look at the scoreboard, 20-16 for Corey. We talked about how important his performance was going to be. And in fact, it does end up being so. Strong individual performance from him. Play is unpaused, and we kick things off live into the round. Wins in mid with the operator.
And we haven't seen that all game. They use the opt on different locations, but where I saw huynh shine before, especially versus Sentinels, was that play towards mid, and it pays off very big and much needed for Gen.G to try to swing the momentum back.
Yeah, that Lear that came out goes a little wide, so he can just hide behind the left side of that wall and dodge the Lear. That's exactly what happens.
Did we not get a gun for BABYBAY? He only has a classic.
Cover going out. Going up.
Not sure, didn't see. It's possible. So, it would be odd if that did in fact end up being the case. Hard to know what happened exactly.
And even then, even if he didn't purchase a weapon, his teammate died towards Ramen. I know he was already committed up towards that mid side, but I feel like he could have fallen back to pick that up. Yeah.
He does have his ult. That's at least the thing. So he's got
30 seconds
Showstopper available.
Still.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's got.
Yeah.
But they're going to rely on him. So he's probably going to go up ropes, and he's going to send his ult back down into that doorway or into screens, depending on what kind of cover he gets from these dark covers. So because of that, he uses the blast pack. Now he can pop this ult and send it in towards screens if he wants to. So this ends up working out well for FaZe. They've got a pretty solid position here. It all comes down to this. It's 12-9. FaZe now has the spike planted. There's the rocket pulled. Like we said, he's moving in close, but no one's there. They backed off on the play. The rocket doesn't go as deep as it looks like it clips the edge of that door frame.
Yeah, they have Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge part of this as well. They're moving in fast. Flash is coming out. The Rolling Thunder is prepped. It goes back towards elbow. It's actually going to be Shawn who flies in, but the rocket doesn't connect. Doesn't matter. Shawn's got some intense mobility. ZachaREEE from inside Heaven has to try and stop this defuse, but there's just too many targets out there. Gen.G, they stay alive. Double-digit rounds on the board. And just 2 away from tying things up and forcing us into overtime for map number 3.
My old heart cannot take how close this is, Buck. Even on the way that FaZe got into the site. I mean, it was a 5 versus 4 for Gen.G, and you still just want to play a retake for the defenders. It was so tough and questionable there for Gen.G. I think, again, that salvation that they had, the silver lining for Gen.G was due to the fact that BABYBAY somehow didn't have a weapon.
Yeah.
And he's only at 2,900 right now. So I don't know if they were, like, fully broke.
Yeah, it's odd. It changes the dynamic of the round. Oh, my goodness. Marved goes for the orb pickup and gets dropped down to 1 HP. And in the words of Missy Misdemeanor Elliott, is it worth it? She also says, let me work it. It's not really relevant to the scenario. Nade banked around the corner, nice toss. Does a little bit of damage to MkaeL, who's sitting back behind the box. You know he wants to get vertical and go up on top, but he just has to wait and be patient and capitalize. One more spotted as they come around the corner. But it's ZachaREEE, who's low on HP. 1 HP for him as well. A lot of damage dealt. Somehow players surviving, but barely for FaZe.
And I see it now as the delay caught up on the stream. So he had the classic and armor, but it really kept the money around the same for FaZe Clan so that they could really count somehow into this last round should they have not won that previous one. So that's why you see them on an eco now. And at the rate that this is going, it's going to be decided at the final round of regulation. Currently a 4-on-2 for Gen.G on the defender side as Marv is trying to make a heroic play towards the spawn, but Corey's trying to do the same. But player one is able to barricade and hold his ground for the B side. And like I said, it's now decided here. Money healthy and available for both of these teams. It's like as if they're playing overtime. Blade Storm available for Gen.G. Also a neural theft, while you have a run it back and a lockdown for FaZe. So imagine a run it back kind of like they did on the B side and even using a lockdown towards the site to cover up towards the heaven. This is going to be a hard hold for Gen.G. Let's see what they have and how they can hold it back.
Yeah, lockdown's going to be huge here. They need to make sure they can keep this Killjoy alive. I like the setup. Do they get one out of this? It's a hold currently from... No! Win! Misses! That's a big peek coming in from Marv. Run it back being popped. They're going to throw down that lockdown in just a second, too, as Marv comes through, gets dropped on the attempted push. There's the lockdown being sent down. Nade coming out from Shawn. But now they back off. They actually aren't going to push off this. Interesting.
Wow.
Now, because of the position that's going to come through from MkaeL, he's going to kind of give away that tell. He has to peek mid. So he gets flushed out into mid. Somehow he still gets a kill out of this. But you can see now, the B-side defenders have stayed closer to B. They didn't fully rotate away.
It's such a broken hold now. The only thing they want to gamble on is an A take. Because they have a camera on B, they could see if there's going to be anything that's going to happen towards the heaven side. They have a trap wire too. So look, let's put all of our eggs in a basket. Tournament line into this round with 3 players stacked towards A. And they are running into this for FaZe Clan. Will we go to overtime or not, Bach? Please take it away.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be interesting to see, to say the least. There's the Lear to lead them in. The smokes come down. The big player on this is going to be that Breach, who's currently lurking on the ramp. They need that play to come through quickly. There's Gimon. Peeking out, executing Marved. He's got some utility to utilize. Flashpoint sent out first. Aftershock comes through as well. Has the fault line available. Wants to send that one towards the site so they can try to get out from screens. Where now both players are coming through. You've got Shawn and player one, both in those positions. The days come through and it delivers. They found 2. It's now down to 1. It's Rawkus on the site in the 1v2. He's trying to escape, going inside his own smoke, but no! It gets swapped to the HP, and they line up, but it doesn't matter. We are going to overtime.
Oh my god, I saw it. He wants to put the smoke up, trying to waste the time, but you know, he's under stress, he's under attack. He puts the Omen cloud into the ground where he was just looking for some cover from the elbow, but even then, on a 2 versus 1, they both lined up in front of him. Where if Rawkus actually had the shots out, he had to both line out to try to win. And that was such a stressful retake that paid for Gen.G. We're going into overtime. It resets to this. You have to win by 2 now. Everything that happened throughout this best out of 3, just throw it out the window. We talk about the pressure of these 2 teams. They've seen this before, but now it's even more important. I know that you're feeling this. I'm feeling this right now. I have shivers. I have goosebumps on my arm.
If you could see my camera, so one of the reasons I liked getting into a standing desk with a headset versus a stationary mic, I pace a lot, and I pace more and more as things start getting like this level of stress, this excitement. There's like anxiety building up, and I'm not even in the damn server. I'm just watching. FaZe Clan and Gen.G. It's a 3rd map, fighting for first strike, and they go to overtime. You couldn't write a better storyline currently. Both teams in a stalemate on this 3rd map. as they fight for their chance to make it into that event. This is their last opportunity.
So 5K for both of these teams. Ultimates reset at halfway. Slow paced for Gen.G, as that has been what has helped them a little bit on the attacker side instead of the explosive pushes that we've seen on that first half. They take control of this mid side, Boombot to cover it out, but it's going to be a solo play on the heaven side, breaking the turret to start. So they've broken it, and it hasn't really been activated. And as they break it, they're moving into a split towards A. This has to be a big hold right now from Raze.
30 seconds
BABYBAY
left.
around the corner. He doesn't know where it's coming from. First barrel sticks out, but that pop flash allows for player one to move in. And now they try to take control of the site. It's a three-man crossfire for FaZe Clan inside the A. As they drop down, player one gets dropped down. Corrin rushes out from the cloudburst, and they're holding their ground on A, leaving Shawn the last man standing with only 10 seconds left on the clock. This is looking to be a FaZe round. The first kill to come through, but that's it. The time has run out. Showstopper is even not enough. And we are back at map and series point for FaZe Clan.
Switching sides.
Oh my God.
Match point.
Back and forth. They have to win 2, and it's just round for round, trading positions until somebody does that. Because of the nature of split, we don't often see a 2-0 overtime victory. It often goes into multiple overtimes, because as teams switch to the defense, that's when things get hectic and then they feel stronger and the offense starts to fall apart. You know, I'm just wondering whether or not Gen.G can kind of calm their jitters and pick up the big win they need here. They already clawed back the lead. They brought it into overtime to begin with, so you know they have that capability. Can they keep it alive? Can they keep it going? They fought so hard to take it to this point. They fought so hard over the last several months as a team, constantly fighting tournament after tournament. But the results were never as impressive as one would hope. Here, though, they're fighting for something that is just so incredibly important to every team. FaZe Clan has the one-up after winning that first round. They go for an A execute, slow things down. They're going to re-exec in just a moment here. There's still 3 players present, and it's important that Gen.G doesn't start shifting resources around. As you can see, FaZe is positioned to continue this push onto the A site. Win is over on B. They've got Raze there as well. Player one has the cam there, but it's playing A heaven. And that's a big kill from MkaeL. Spotting out that first player, that starts to pull the Raze around. So now they're going to have additional firepower here coming in by way of Shawn. MkaeL throws down another dark cover, but a quick shot coming out from ZachaREEE onto MkaeL. And now there's a ton of pressure on Guimond yet again inside the site. Only going to get one this time around. Player one's on the balcony. The spike's going to get planted with 15 seconds left on the clock. They make it onto the site. It's retake time yet again for Gen.G.
And they have to wait so long here for huynh to rotate back. They really don't have anything for retakes, with maybe if they still have paint shells from Shawn. On the other end, though, ZachaREEE's on the corner. The turret gives a lot, and that's a big tell. The paint shells are out, and he does get the train off courtesy of huynh to a 2 versus 2. Marved is looking down. A crossfire setup as he gets the headshot onto player one. Can huynh now clutch this at full HP? Gets the first one. The cloudburst as he dashes in. The curveball to come through. The smoke to come out. The spray from Marved, and the victory for FaZe Clan as they qualify for first strike, winning this third map in overtime versus Gen.G 14-12.
Unbelievable series. Both teams fight to the bitter end. FaZe comes out on top as Gen.G just can't seem to muster up enough strength. We've got Reflections joining us here as well to break that all down.